What's going on, people? What's going on, people? What's going on, people? Welcome to the Nightly Notions quick podcast tonight. Hope you guys can hear me. Hope you've had a good week. We're taking a bit of a break, taking a bit of a R&R, as they would call it. I hope my sound is coming in good and my sound is coming in clear. And do the honors, do the favors. We're trying to grow this channel. We're trying to grow the podcast. Definitely hit that like button. What's going on, family? Definitely hit that like button, guys. Definitely hit the subscribe. And of course, please feel free to share the content. If it's engaging and intellectual and informative for you and you think it can benefit someone else in the family, then by all means, please do so. Big shout out to House of Balloons. Big shout out to the family. Big shout out to everybody out there who's watching and has not said anything. Big shout out to you. Hope your family is blessed. Today's conversation is going to be a quick one, but I thought I needed to chime in on the conversation because it's something very pertinent and very important to my heart, something very important to my mission, to my goal, to my purpose. And for those of you who have been listening and who have been following and paying attention, big shout out to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you kindly. Much love. But if you've been listening, you would know that our mission and our goal over here on this channel is love plus support equals growth. This is a principle, it's a foundation. And gathered together, it gives us an understanding where we should go and how we can rebuild our families, build our relationships, and build legacies for our children going forward. And I say all that to say this. Because I watched the video, somebody sent me a clip about what's going on right now with Kevin Samuels, Umar Johnson, and the latest one is DJ Envy. And the reason they sent me this clip is because we were having a conversation the other day about brotherhood, and we were having the conversation about envy amongst brothers, amongst men. Because contrary to popular belief, while I'm trying to build back brotherhood and build back men, the reason for that is because we need to build back families. And in order to build back families, we need men who have had the war on them to step back into their role and step back into their purpose and step back into their throne, into the driving seat, so that they can build their families up, they can protect their families, and they too can combine and connect and network with other men and other brothers of sound mind and a foundation, so that they can build better families for our community going forward. For those that have had enough, for those that haven't, you can continue with the status quo. But we can clearly see that there's a damage, right? So the reason why I wanted to bring this video out and have the conversation about this video is because something's taking place right now within the community, and it's happening right now live and direct on the social media platforms that we are all tuned in and watching. And instead of us to take stock at the moment, at the timeline, and take a snapshot and recognize that there is something very profound happening within our community, and it's incumbent upon all of us to take stock, to take step. It's the age of accountability. And I say all the time on this platform, while everyone is pointing the finger and blaming each other, remember that finger that you're pointing, there's three coming right back at you. So let's start with a place of accountability. Because when we start in a place of accountability, there's a place of humility that comes after it. Because accountability is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility for what? Your behaviors, your actions, your thoughts, your words. It affects the process of resolving disputes, conflict resolution. And we're in a conflict, make no mistake about it. There is a breakdown of the family structure. From what I've seen growing up, from my parents' generation, my grandparents' generation. And my grandfather had 2 wives. I came from a polygamous family generation. So to go from that to coming to single parents to virtually no family structure whatsoever, conflict resolution is definitely required. So accountability on both sides is where we must start. Agreeing upon courses of action is another effect of taking accountability, which resolves with what? Issues and planning. Bargaining for collective advantage. and crafting outcomes to satisfy various interests. The list goes on, but you understand what it means, right? You understand what it means, right? So in men being the head of the household, you must take accountability. In men being leadership, you must take accountability. But that goes both ways. Everybody needs to take accountability for their behavior, for their actions. So in this time and in this period, in this moment, when the conversation is being had, and the spotlight for this moment, for this time, is upon, especially dealing with Kevin Samuels and their situation, is upon the women. But what is I find interesting is how DJ Envy responds in a conversation on his platform towards Kevin Samuels on another platform. Mind you, DJ Envy is mainstream with the Breakfast Club. So it's very interesting to see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video. And I want to hear the conversation, because I don't understand how he can go from being on mainstream media and having his conversations to now, because what I've been told is that he just jumped on the bandwagon and started insulting and cussing. So I'm going to hear the video, and then I'm going to make my own decision. So let me see what happens.
Hi, this is Karen. I'm from Ohio.
Oh boy, Karen. Another Karen on the line.
Oh, I'm not one of them.
I'm just messing with you, Karen. Go ahead. Who you want to give donkey to?
I want to give my donkey to Kevin Samuels. Can I tell you why?
Woo! Sure, go ahead.
I think that he openly degrades Black women, and he preys on their insecurities that have been given to them in previous relationships and their naiveness. And come on, he gave Saweetie a 6. Dr. Umar spoke on him on all that. He deserves donkey of the day.
Yeah, I think he's lame. I do think he's lame. I mean, what age are we where we're rating women and rating people? I mean, he's a grown-ass man. He's 50 years old.
So.
But the thing I don't understand is...
you? That's the thing.
But the thing is, which I don't understand is, why do women keep going to him? Like, that's what I don't understand.
Like I said, he preys on their insecurities that they've been given in previous relationships and their naiveness.
Yeah, because he looks about...
It seems like he hates women. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I mean, he used to hang around the Hermes store and try to get clientele. It's, you know, just to try to get people. And he...
Okay. Big shout out to the family. Hit the like button, guys, when you're coming to the chat or when you're coming to the show. Would appreciate that. You know, showing some love, showing some LSG. That's what it's about. All right, hit that like button. So far, from what I'm hearing, right, they're doing the Donkey of the Day on Breakfast Club, which personally, I love Donkey of the Day. I find it hilarious, right? But usually Donkey of the Day is for something that, from what I understand, is going to be like, you know, something that a jackass would do. You see what I'm saying? So I'm still trying to find out. Okay, so she's called in to say, I can understand that. You see what I'm saying? She's upset. She's in her feelings. But what is the reason that DJ Envy would come on and say that? He's a professional radio DJ, radio host, radio presenter, a mainstream one at that, and one that would know how damaging continuing the status quo or pushing out false information is. Because again, we're about accountability, and accountability is about one taking responsibility for one's own actions. So we must start there on both sides. So his reason for agreeing with this woman as to why he's... Let me take it back, because this is what I'm talking about. And when I speak about brothers standing in unity and brothers standing on their square and not giving into the emotions that make them unruly, by not standing in honor, not standing in truth, not standing in accountability, the first pillar of LSG, love, by them not having those characteristics and standing fast to those principles, you get this behavior.
He hates women. I don't know.
That's what I don't understand.
Like I said, he preys on their insecurities that they've been given in previous relationships and their naiveness.
Yeah, because he looks about...
It seems like
Kevin has done, from what I've seen, and I've watched these shows from start to end. I haven't seen that. yet again another vilification of what? Another man who looks like me. I've seen it all through my life. But if there's evidence to support what they're saying, then by all means, if you're my brother takes accountability. And when people are wrong, they're wrong. My brother don't stand in the gap and makes defenses for people that don't take accountability for their actions. That's detrimental to the community and the breakdown of the family structure. Period. It takes two to tango. Let's not play these games. But you have a radio host, a DJ, mainstream media pushing and perpetuating the dysfunctional behavior that is going on in our community. And what was his reasons?
He hates women. I don't know.
He hates women. So again, are they addressing his points? Or are they insulting him? What is that called again? Oh, right, that's it. An ad hominem attack. An abusive fallacy, an abusive attack against someone making an argument instead of addressing the argument itself. This logical fallacy takes two forms. One, attack the person's personality traits or the events in his or her life. Or two, attack the character and reputation of the person because of individuals he or she associates with guilt by association. This is a professional DJ. When are we going to stop this behavior within our community? When are we going to stop that? And don't think I haven't heard people trying to accuse him of being a homosexual. Like that's a bad thing. So hold on, it's okay for homosexuals to be homosexuals, but then for him it's a bad thing. That's a double standard. I'm surprised that LGBT community is not up in arms about the way in which they're slandering this man with the use of their sexuality. I'm really surprised at that. But that's a conversation for another day. We'll hold that to the side. Now, I understand this all too often because I was held in a court of law to be vilified, and lies were put upon me by the very system that said they swore to uphold. But here he's being tried by media, right? Popular opinion.
That they've been given in previous relationships.
Let's keep going on.
And their naiveness.
Yeah, because he looks about.
It seems like he hates women. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I mean, he used to hang around the Hermes store and try to get clientele, just to try to get people. And he used to wear, dress up and stand outside the stores and try to talk.
She says, I think he hates women. Again, I just put up the definition of an ad hominem attack. Ad hominem is when a person's argument attacks another person's character. I think he hates women. I think he's lame. Character, personality, job. So they've done two already. Home life, etc. Rather than their actual ideas. Your ideas. The very thing that you stand on. The word I think, not I feel. Feel is an emotion. Think is a thought. Logic, rationale, reason. The very things they say this Western community was founded upon. Was it not? So again, we need to understand the maneuvering that's happening here. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button. Really appreciate that. Definitely reading the comments. Bro Rising, big shout out to you, sis. You know what I'm saying? She says the Breakfast Show is trash. To be honest, they push modern day toxic ideologies. I would agree with that. You know what I'm saying? In definitely certain aspects, certain shows I do agree. Do you see what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll get into Breakfast Club. I just wanted to. This is. No, you're right, sis. You're right. They are pushing their ideology because instead of holding to account the very people who are destroying and continuing and perpetuating the toxic image of the women in our community with this mindset, but they're perpetuating it and showing it out to the world as to say, this is who we are and this is what we're about. And we're condoning it and accepting it. Rather, instead of addressing it, they're now using ad hominem attacks to attack a person, which is what? It is used to draw away from a person's counter argument through addressing something unrelated. Now, hold on, let me take the banner out the way so you guys can really see this, because y'all need to see this right here, right? It says, generally when this fallacy is used, the unrelated characteristic is undesirable. He's lame, he's gay, he's a womanizer, he's belittling women, he's berating, etc., etc., etc. Hence causing the other person to look bad because they have no argument. But let's continue. Let's carry on.
To people, I've seen him actually a couple of times. It's funny, but in Atlanta. But I mean, I don't know why women still go to.
Back up. He said hang out outside the Hermes store.
Yeah, he used to try to hang outside the stores to try to get businesses. So he would hang outside the Hermes store and look for, I guess people with a little bit of money and try to talk to him and try to be a stylist or whatever he was trying to do. I see him out there once or twice. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's weird.
My salesperson.
Hold up. Again, another insult. What do you mean? Hold up. What? Look at him. She like, what? I just say somebody surprised her. Like, he was outside Hermes? He what?
Here.
Oh.
Why are you stupid?
She was so shocked. She's like, what is going on? How is Kevin outside? He's like, I seen Kevin outside one time. First of all, whether that's true or not, I'm not debating that. I'm not in America. I don't know. Now, what I know is though, that's a clothing store. So if he's outside the store, you're saying he's touting for business. Okay, that's a hustle. You can't knock a man's hustle. You can't knock a man for dropping his hustle down. You can't really do that. You see what I'm saying? So the only way, that sounds to me like you hating on a man's hustle. And this is what I'm talking about. When it comes to the men who have grown up in this society and in this age that look down on other brothers. Okay, DJ Envy, you've made it. Yeah, you've hit the big show. You've hit the big time. But you should be turning around and making sure that there's other brothers coming up. This is why I hold the older generation accountable to the men, especially to a higher degree of accountability, because you should have been putting that work in to making sure you're leaving legacy for the younger generation coming behind you. Standards, morals, ethics, integrity, the ability to work together, collective mindset. These are things that they talk about, and Umar Johnson be spitting for the last 10-something years. These men are older than me. Not that much, mind you, but at the same time, I'm tired of hearing this BS, man. We making our own way and we going our own way because we're tired of hearing the same old rhetoric that's lies, that's not benefiting us, that's not improving us, that's not getting us over the line, making us leaders of our own household. You got brothers running into Hotep, brothers running into Egyptology, brothers running into Hebrewism, brothers coming out the church, everyone's going their own way. The breakdown of the social society, the social construct of the Western society is in breakdown. It's broken down and it's breaking down. And if we don't cling and come to an agreement on principles and set of standards and foundations that we can go forward on, we are going to be destroyed as a people. And make no mistake about it, those that are at the top are waiting, are dying, are itching to put you back in chains, whether you white or black, just for the record. Just for the record. Okay, Jim, you're not actually engaging in the conversation with what I'm saying. So I'm going to ask you to keep your comments to what I'm saying, okay? Women insult us all the time, being married 34 years. If you can't get over that, then that's your problem. Yeah, okay, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. All right? Did you hear Milo give up his gayness on True News? No, I didn't. Hogwash if you blame women. Like I said, I blame both sides, men and women. And again, if we're gonna Jim, this is the reality, yeah. If we're gonna say, because I've looked at the stats, because marriage rates, especially in the US, let's use them for example, 80% marriage rate before 1950. Between 1950 and 1960, that dropped because there was no men in the households. There were men who were taken out of society, out of the construct of the family construct. These now children were raised by mothers. These women did not impart the moral standards and ethics that we will desire as a community going forward into those children. Why? Because that's the job of the men. The women pass on the culture. So what culture was passed on by the women to these children who now became, this is in the 50s. We're now in 2021. That's 70 years ago. That's 70 years ago. That's the age of my father. My grandmother was one of these women. My grandmother came over from the West Indies to the UK and put my mother at the age of 8 into a home so she can go live her life. So don't you come over here on my platform, bro, and try to tell me some foolishness. I said everyone's going to take accountability. So before you open your mouth, you better start at that junction and take accountability for your actions and your people's interaction and infiltration into our community. I'm not blaming all white people, but accountability is due where it's due. Take hold of your ish so we can move forward. If you really about this love, if you really about building community, if you really about the globalist is your enemy, because I'm about local families. I'm about building local communities and small families back together again, because that's what it's about. LSG, love plus support equals growth mindset. Standing on principles, morals, and ethics that are going to hold our family together. No, this is not a conversation for someone to call in. I didn't say I was going to open up a chat. So you can stay and engage in the comment chat. You're free to do that. But don't be throwing no BS over here, bro. I don't do that. I don't do that mess. Straight up, I told you that. But let me continue. So the simple fact of the matter is, when the man was taken out of the home, mind you, by a certain race of people due to their policies, take accountability, Jim, for what your people did, and then we family. The same way I'm holding the modern woman to accountability for what she's doing, I'm saying take accountability. The same way I'm holding my brothers to accountability, I'm saying it's time for us to grow up. Our people are in despair. Our families are in the gutter. Our children are monsters. Our daughters are walking around like, let me not even say. It's that disgraceful. When we can, I've read the history book. I've got the history book. I read it every time, and I see how far we've fallen as a people from the level of integrity and mindset and honor. Truth that we spoke, honesty that we spoke, good faith that we came in, that we accepted other people in. Those are qualities we've thrown to the wayside for materialism, for flash bang, flash with no substance, for the pursuit of money, for the pursuit of clout, for the pursuit of the JJ. We're a base people, man. Regardless of how many people in our community got rich or have money, we are judged by ethnic standard. And we have to accept that. Otherwise, we're still in our delusion.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, and I make mental health education videos. A delusion is a fixed false belief, and despite evidence that goes against what you believe, you still believe it.
And that's it right there. We are in a delusion as a people. All right, Jim, I'm putting you on timeout. Right? There you go. 5 minutes. So he's now insulting. Let me get back to the thing. Let me get back to it.
Person from the Hermes store had to remind me, like, you don't remember him? He was the one that was outside the store. I'm like, that was him. Yeah, but he's lame. I don't respect the fact that he sits there and rates women. Oh, this one's a 2 and this one's a 4, and Ma, you look ugly. Ma, you're fat. Like, it's just it's a woman must have heard him.
There it is. Same ad hominem attacks. A woman must have hurt you, right? He dropping these bars. Hurt you. Right, he dropping these bars. Now, like I said, I've watched his show. I've been watching his show since last year in December. And I'm over here in the UK 5 hours ahead. I have not once seen him do the things that he has said. And I'm holding myself to accountability, because that's how I do in my family. I've got 2 daughters. I've got a wife that I love very much. And no way am I going to sit here and defend a man that's going to berate and insult women. No, he doesn't do that. He calls what is true. That's it. Truth hurts. Sorry. Truth hurts. Now, this is the problem with our people. There's two ways of doing things.
Now we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
But you know our people, right? Our people rather suck on a lemon than do things the easy way. They rather, and what happens is when these women call into the show, they always choose.
Okay, I see you choosing the hard way.
Choosing the hard way. Take accountability for your actions so we can get to the point of healing. Truth, honor, accountability is the first pillar, is the first foundation in LSG. We can't grow as a community unless we take accountability for our actions. You go to the accountability to our people as a whole, not just the women, the men and the women, especially people like DJ Envy, is like kryptonite. It's like kryptonite. Come like Superman, just be weak at the knees, like, oh. No, we need to do better, man. We need to do better. We're talking about children. We're talking about legacy. We're talking about future. We need to do better. I want better men to be able to be around to marry my daughters so I can give them to them and say, yo, raise continue my generation, continue your generation, with my daughters. But look after them, raise them, care for them, nurture them, guide them. Because I'm passing over that care from their father to their husband. Not to some bum down the street or to some Joe Blogs around the corner because he's too effeminate to be able to lead or to understand what leadership is. Or because he's too caught up in the social media, the mainstream media, the hype, chasing down materialism, get rich or die trying, and not understanding the fundamental principles that make up a man, that make up a household, that make up a family. Brothers, come on. You meant to be building, man. You meant to be standing on your square. You are the head of, you meant to be the leader of your household. Then build your kingdom. That's when you have your wife and your children, whether it's one or multiple, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. Because the social construct of the West is not how we were supposed to be living. It's wrong. We need to go back and find what's conducive for our culture, our community. Big shout out to Rum and Coke. I love that name. I love that drink too. Fair enough. I'm having one right now. Thank you, Rum and Coke. It just reminded me that I had a nice brandy and Coke right here. And I was just sipping on it. That was good. Listen, if we want to build back our families, we have to take control. I've seen what's going on. I hear the brothers' complaints about the women. I hear it. But I look at my brothers and say, listen, when I was playing pimping back in the day, ain't no woman talking to me about I'm a feminist. I ain't giving up the box. What are you talking about? These nonsense conversations that I'm hearing and the arguments I'm hearing from these women are not even, they're not even debatable, man. They're easy to be disputed because you understand the behavior of a woman. Now, I understand that your mama may not have taught you and you may not have had a man around to teach you. But guess what? I wasn't taught either, man. I had to learn. I had to learn by myself. And as I've got to an age where I chased it, man. And I got it. Don't get it twisted. But I understood even from back then that the fundamental building block to my legacy is family, is getting a wife, is being married. Okay, I've got to put this message up here. Let me see this. Jim Barrack, you've come back again. Me too. I have 3. But why not have leadership guided through women? They are the pro-creators. No, they're not. Again, that's a fallacy. I have never met a man who did not come from a woman. Again, that's a fallacy and a misnomer. Women do not create life. Men do. The seed comes from the man. The sex determination comes from the man. The seed is implanted. This is basic biology. The seed is implanted into the woman. The woman gives birth, brings forth life by the conduit of birth. Life does not begin with her. It is brought into reality through her. It begins with the man, the seed. If I take an apple seed and I plant it in the ground in America, it will be an apple tree. If I take that same apple seed and I go to China and plant it in China, it will be the same apple. The seed is the seed. The woman brings forth the life of the seed. That is basic biology 101. And that is not a reason why women should lead, because they bring forth life. Again, emotional, logic-based. But thank you for the comment. Thank you for the comment. Rory Rising says, we need each other as said so by the Most High. Sis, this is the fundamental thing I'm trying to get people to understand, that family. And let's talk about the Most High, because the Most High gave an order in how that process is supposed to be accomplished. Him, Christ, man, woman, children. That's the order. There must be order in things. There is order in the heavenly realm, in a throne room, in the governmental office, and so too is there order in your household. This is why I'm speaking to the brothers as leaders and saying you must take hold of your household and be a leader. Don't listen to these DJ envies. They're trying to steer you away from something monumental that's taking place within the community, and that's allowing men to have a voice. Have a voice, but stand on principles that are worthy to be stood on. Don't go chasing after the men that actually are hurt. Don't go chasing after the men that actually are in a place of just trying to use this as an excuse to bash the women. Don't fall for that lower level behavior and lower value intelligence. Your counterparts are already doing that. Don't mimic that behavior, but instead rise to a higher level of understanding. Rise to a higher level of behavior, a higher level of thinking. Be on your purpose. You want to be that king? Well, guess what? A king doesn't roll around in the mud and in the dirt and in the miry. A king doesn't just roll around and stick his things any. You know what? Don't worry, we'll talk about that. Because Kevin said he was going to talk about it, and I see where he's going. I see where he's going. Brothers need to have more self-control and dick discipline. Oh, yeah, I said it. You need to have more dick discipline.
Got him! Got him!
Yeah. Because I'm going too far off the beaten path. I'll come back to it. Let's finish the video. Let's get back into it.
I don't know. Maybe it was his mother. Maybe it was his girl, his wife. So a woman definitely.
Or maybe he just doesn't like women.
Or maybe he likes men.
All right. Well, this was her.
Again with the gay joke. Maybe he likes men. He doesn't like women. Again with the same ad hominem attack. I would respect them as commentators if they were going to address his content, what he's saying. Now, of course, like I said, there's certain things I disagree with Kevin Samuels about. Because for me, a high value man is not just dictated in his money, even though he doesn't say that. But Kevin has said he doesn't put morals, principles into that equation for the sake of the show, for the entertainment value. But I know it's coming. I know it's coming because you cannot have this without the other. You cannot have this without the other, because in the bigger picture, in the grander picture of what he's doing and the men behind him are doing, I agree with that, because we're trying to build back families. I agree with building back families. But you must start from somewhere. And in a place that's so downtrodden and so backwards, the scripture says we are lost for a lack of knowledge. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We have been destroyed. So I see the avenue. I see the gateway. I see what he's doing. Because there's going to be a bigger platform, a bigger explosion, a bigger movement that's going to come out of this, where men are going to have a voice, and men are going to have the ability to now speak and create their own platform, their own content. So when you have people like DJ Envy, which is on the forefront, on the mouthpiece, and has the ability to bring others up through and into that industry. I say it all the time, and I'll pull up the video where Akon said it. If all the brothers in the music industry took their music back to Africa, it's a wrap. If all the ball players or the sports guys took their sports championship and set up teams in Africa, it'll be a wrap. Jim Barrick says, Kevin triggers me. Then Kevin, you need to grab hold of your feelings. You might need to come on our course. Love plus support equals growth. We're teaching men how to be leaders. How to be less, control those emotions. That's why you need to have a balance. Your woman's supposed to have those emotions because she's more socially calibrated. That's where women are superior at us, over us. Hands down. I walk into a room, I tell my wife, you better go in there, have a look up in there, because she can read the room in 2 seconds. The same way I have my gifts as a man, she has her gifts as a man. This is the understanding that we must step back into for our communities to flourish. The West has fallen. The social construct and social norms that they have pumped in them social media and mainstream media is falling apart. And we're still trying to hang on to it, then we're going to fall with it. People like DJ Envy, Angela Yee are perpetuating the same ad hominem attacks to keep you asleep. Time to wake up.
This was Karen's done.
Oh, who's this?
Hi, this is Karen. I'm from Ohio.
I don't respect the fact that he sits there and rates women. Oh, this one's a 2.
He said don't respect the fact that he sits there and rates women. So what's Ebony or GQ magazine when they say the top 100 sexiest women or top 50 sexiest women or the top 50 sexiest men? So it's okay for those people to get rated, but it's not okay. This is silly, childish behavior. This is what I'm talking about. This is perpetuating the status quo, which is keeping us asleep, divided, and broken. We're not learning the games yet. People often ask, whenever I look at the history, how did the Germans, as we call them in the UK, that Reich that happened in World War II, convince the people about the whole, I don't want to say certain words on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, about their Aryan race sort of thing. How did they convince them with that? Propaganda and media. That's where it developed. Not where it developed. It developed way further back than that. Excuse me, let me correct myself. But that's where they learned the tricks. To convince the people that they should go and mass murder a whole group of other people just based on the differences of their ethnicity. We're seeing the same thing manifest itself where men are fighting against women and where we have this disconnect on general, especially going down the generations. And I'm seeing it live and direct in front of my face with all these different spheres. Women are putting the post themselves on the YouTube. Themselves. So, bros, listen. The women, my wife, I've said to her, sis, you're gonna have to come and talk to your sisters, man, because I'm talking to the brothers. So, brothers on this platform, we're gonna be talking about LSGLifestyle. We're gonna be talking about love plus support equals growth. Growth mindset. How to move yourself from being where you are to being in a positive mindset. Surround yourself by positive people. How to be a leader in your life first and foremost. How to be a leader in your relationship, whether you're married or about to be. How to search for women, the right women, because they are out there. Don't get it twisted. The right women. Some men are flying out. Some men are like, yo, you know what? When they see these modern women talking, they're like, oh my God. They're like, heck no. But when I see it, what I see is the breakdown of family. What I see DJ Envy and these other people trying to promote the status quo by keeping the status quo going is they're trying to keep the men in our community simping with low-level IQ women. Nah, we don't need that. You need to find higher-level IQ women, women of character, of substance. That's what we need to find, brothers. They're out there. You got to look for the characters and the qualities first. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that discipline. Between the age of 2, I know it's hard. Listen, I ain't going to be a hypocrite and say I didn't go around chasing women. I did, bro. I did. But I'm telling you, the dating pool has changed from when I was there to when you are now. And I was lucky because I was able to find a gem amongst the hay, amongst the rough. I was able to find that gem, and when I found that gem, I sold everything that I had and went to purchase that field so that I could have that gem, and I have her. I have her because her qualities gentlemen, her qualities, her loyalty, her fidelity, her feminineness, her cooperativeness, her nurturingness, the ability for her to advise and counsel. These are the things you're supposed to be looking for in a counterpart. These are the things you're supposed to be looking for in a woman. Listen, watch the channel, guys. Watch my wife's channel, because we're going to share that information with the family. Big shout out to Plenty Cupcakes for all the way from the UK. Yes, family, definitely go check her out. I love my sister over there, man. She's a real sister right there. And this is what I'm talking about. Loyalty right there. You see it, right? Third column, about 5 words down. You want a woman that's like that, with wisdom, virtue. What I'm seeing and what's being displayed, gentlemen, is not what you would want to build your kingdom with. So stop trying to put your things in that. Every time you put your things in those women, they continue to think that you desire them, you want them. It's the attention. You need, okay, I have to drop some game on it, but I don't believe I have to say this. I'll come out 20 years later, I have to tell you brothers this. Women, these type of women love attention the same way you love sex. That's really the reality of it. So the moment you give these type of women attention, they're getting what they want. So I'm going to talk some more about that on the different platforms. You see what I'm saying? Some of it might not be good for YouTube, but definitely be signed up and subscribe so that you can get those updates when they come out. But you should definitely be looking for a woman of character, of substance. And if you can't find her in the area that you are, change your pool. Change your pool. But you need to be the leader in this conversation. Don't be letting people like DJ Envy, like Umar Johnson, lull you back to sleep. Don't let them lull you back to sleep, family. Because you need to be on your purpose. You need to be on your grind. And you need to be raising the bar and the standard within our community. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be having envy amongst us as brothers. That's what DJ Envy is doing, because he's slandering and belittling Kevin Samuels. He's got that envy. It's like, ooh. He's got that envy in him. Let me put that up again. Envy is an emotion which occurs when a person lacks another's superior quality, achievement, or possession, and either desires it or wishes that other lacked it. And we have that spirit running around today everywhere within our community, within this modern age, this modern time, within this Babylonian system. We've got it running around. And you've been looking at some people like, and they be doing stuff behind the scenes. You been looking at them like, God.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
Fam, we got to stop this behavior amongst ourselves, and we got to step to a higher level and deal with a higher mindset. Love plus support equals growth. It's a mindset. It's a behavior. It's a characteristic. It's a substance that you must act out. It's an equation that when you implement trust, the first pillar, which is love, which falls under truth, accountability, and honor. When you embody those principles and you add them with the support, which is the group economic mindset, the collective mindset, you start to grow, you start to nourish, you start to manifest. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, because we're spiritual creatures that manifest things in the fleshly plane or the earthly plane. And we can manifest ourselves using the right principles. Of course, all praises to the Most High in Christ. I am taking that away from them. Heck no. But in order for us to realize our potential, in order for us to realize our light, we must step into the faith, into the void, into the leadership. Starting with yourself, The scriptures say, he that findeth for a wife findeth a good thing. So, brothers, take leadership of yourself. Be in that mindset, be in that spirit. And then start looking for a woman, a helpmeet that will build your kingdom with you. And when you do that, part of the support is what? The collective mindset to network, to grow. And you find other men, again, of character, of substance. I ain't talking about no flyby boy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about no, no pimp daddy like. I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about big-headed brothers that think that, because they be doing the work, and they don't want to help nobody. DJ Envies thinking like they. Thinking like they have the power up in here. Thinking like they have the power up in here. Nah, fellas. It's time to stop. Take heed. Take stock. Make an about turn. As the scripture in the church will say, repent. It's time to change, fellas. It's time to take stock and look at the life. Look at our parents. I had to do it. I had to look at my moms. I had to look at my dad. And I had to recognize and accept that they are just people. Normal people like you and me. Human beings that are capable of making mistakes. That are not perfect. And we have to accept it. And when we accept it and take accountability for it, we change. We grow. We manifest. We blossom. We are open to a higher understanding and a higher way of seeing, being, sensing, accepting the humility that walks amongst us, in us and through us, a different light that shines and a different energy that manifests amongst different people that are around us, to the point where they look at us and they're sitting here like,
I said, bitch, who raised you?
Because you filled with a higher level of purpose, a higher level of mindset, a higher level of instruction, a higher level of principles. Nah, we need to stop with a low-level mindset, man. And stop pretending to say that low-level mindset and that low-level intelligence is who we are as a people. I'm telling you straight, that's straight-up delusion.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, and I make mental health education videos. A delusion is a fixed false belief. And despite evidence that goes against what you believe, you still believe it.
Yeah, don't be believing that, man. Come out of the delusion. It's a false delusion in this Western system, in this Babylonian system. I've been telling everybody to get a ticket and go to Africa, right? Because the party is over, family. It's time for us to stop being the clown.
Circus, Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro polka dot, Afro.
Stop it. Stop it, fellas. So, I'm sorry. The jacket, the donkey got me, man. It was donkey of the day. It's Chris. It's Chris Rock. His voice is hilarious. There's no way I could play that and not laugh. I'm sorry, fam. I'm sorry. I had to laugh. I had to laugh. Okay, one more time.
Circus, Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro polka dot, Afro.
All right, I'll stop now. But fam, this is what I'm saying to you. We got to stop the envy, man. We got to stop the envy. DJ Envy, ironic. Isn't it ironic? DJ Envy's envy, displaying emotions which are contrary to himself and to his brand and to his image. DJ Envy be talking like, who hurt you? But really, and this is what I'm trying to say, fellas. No shade to the fellas. But some of y'all need to got told off when you was younger.
I've had it with your whining and bumbling.
Like some of y'all need to get told off like that. That's I'm sorry, I'm a father of 4. So I ain't got time for some of this foolishness when I see brothers be acting all bro. Like, you need to man up, man. I understand. Don't get it twisted. I understand, fellas. I understand. But this is why I'm reaching out a hand and saying, listen, fellas, yo, we need to change, man. We need to change. And rather than me point the finger at you and say, bro, you need to change. You know what I'm saying? Those 3 fingers are pointing back at me. I'm saying, okay, I'm taking accountability. All right. Okay. I played the field. Yeah, I ran around. I was slaying. But I still understood that I had to come to an agreement and an arrangement with the woman in order to build my kingdom. And that's the same thing you have to come to too. This slaying and smacking the field forever ain't gonna work, fellas. It don't last. It ain't gonna work. So this is why I say there's certain parts of the manosphere I agree with and certain parts of the manosphere I do not agree with. But I understand that some men are young. You know, you still want to go sow your seeds and run around and do those things. But what I'm saying to you is you're wasting time. Between the age of 20 and 35, 40, fellas, you need to be putting in some work. Because the fun is going to start after you're 40. The fun don't start in your 20s. That's the misconception. They make us waste time. I did it. And I'm trying to tell you, don't do it. So yes, understand what's going on with the manosphere and how the dating game has changed and how the women are dealing. But don't fall and get sucked into this thing where they're just chasing for JJ for the rest of your life. That's not building legacy. That's not building family. That's not building community. If you want to do that, feel free. Just understand what comes with that. It's an endless life. But to those that want to build family, to those men that want to find a partner and a helpmate so that they can start building their kingdom and expand their kingdom to build an empire. Because make no mistake, gentlemen, just because you have a woman and children, you just only built your kingdom. You haven't built your empire yet. And more importantly, you have not made treaties with other men and other kingdoms and other empires. Because that's how communities are built. We all talk about we kings and we queens, and we roll up in the throne room, you know. Oh, I don't have the picture. I would have flicked the picture up. You know what I'm saying? We rolling up in the throne room. Like, yeah. Like we doing something. But when it comes to networking, building as a community and building and putting our differences aside, putting aside the 20% that we disagree with and coming and working on the 8% that we do agree with, bring your money, put your money, show your money where your mouth is, what we get? That's what we get. We get the crickets in the community. Or, as I said, we get the ad hominem attacks from other people like the DJ Envies, the Cynthia G's, the all the other foolish people. I forget the other one's name now. They be sitting there laughing behind your back because they're making money off you by keeping you asleep. I'm telling you the truth. So you know what? Just because I know I'm telling you the truth, I know straight off the gate I'm not going to be liked. There's going to be people coming on my platform and telling me
Shut up, Meg.
I'll be like, yo, bro, it's my platform. They'll be like, I don't care.
Shut up, Meg.
Because I'm telling you the truth. Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Or you just still stuck in delusion, right?
Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, and I make mental health education videos. A delusion is a fixed false belief, and despite evidence that goes against what you believe, you still believe it.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Take accountability. If you have children, you should raise your children to take accountability for their actions so that when they mess up, you be sitting them in the eye and say, you should know better. So that when they mess up, they can recall and they can relate and they can express why they did the thing that they did so that they can change their behavior. That's how I raise my kids. So I don't understand this mad behavior that's what I'm seeing running around. Over here in the UK, we got kids stabbing up each other and doing all the foolishness with each other on the streets. Why? Because there's no moral standards and discipline instilled in the community. Why? Because they removed the men out of the community. Why? Because the women fell for the hoodwinked, brainwashing doctrine that the mainstream media and those powers that be put out to separate the family structure. Look at the evidence now. We have to accept it, man. We got kids running around the street in the nighttime like,
Precious.
like, do you see his eyeballs? That's how we running around in the streets today. Nah. We got to pull that back in. All right? Not on my watch, fellas. Not on my watch. As the older generation passes, guess what? The responsibility passes down to the next generation. And yes, you've got people like Kevin Samuels doing his part. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Big shout out to Obsidian. Big shout out to MTR. Big shout out to, BLP, excuse me. So many other brothers out there doing the work, encouraging me, mind you. Because I should have been on this grind a long time ago. But this is what happens when you have 3 kids. And I know you got to build. Fellas, come on. We got work to do, man. Stop the simping. And if you're a simp, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame. If you're simping right now and you're hearing this live, your new name is Forrest Gump.
Hi, Forrest. I know you just got back from Vietnam and you love me, but I'm gonna go run a train with this group of Black Panthers I just met.
Okay, Jenny.
Hi, Forrest. I know you came all this way to New York to visit me, but I'm gonna go do blow and have sex with a bunch of stockbrokers.
Okay, Jenny.
Hi, Forrest. Now that I have the most contagious and incurable disease known to mankind, I'll finally have pity sex with you.
Okay, Jenny.
Stop it. Find women of character, of substance, of virtue. They are still out there. Yes, they may be few and far between, but it's worth the find, so get looking. And while you're looking, gentlemen, set yourself up to be a leader, to be the quality of a man that a woman would desire and be drawn to. Because guess what? Just because men have money, I'll tell you this, as a player, as an old school player, to my younger brothers, I'm just going to tell you straight up. Money doesn't make the man. If you can show a real woman that you're a leader, that you're about your business, your ambition, your game, your kingdom, and you will fight and die to protect that kingdom, no better thing in a woman's eyes, a real woman's eyes. You need to be about that. You need to be on that purpose and on that square. Don't be listening to people like DJ Envy, which are teaching you the spirit of envy, teaching you to eyeball and be in your feelings and be triggered because you haven't heard another man speak with a certainty. Excuse me. Speak assertively, and with a certainty, with a conviction. And I'm not talking about them singing you to sleep with the pastor preacher, Pan-Africanism. No, I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about real life stuff, man. It's the age and the time of MGTOW, men going their own way. So I'm reaching out to you brothers and say, listen, while you're going your own way, pick up these principles, LSGMindset. Love plus support equals growth. Apply the principles, apply the equation step by step with yourself, with your counterparts, with your brethren, with your mans them, with your network, with your crew, with your team. Be about it. It's hard. It's not easy. But nothing worth having ever came easy now, did it? Did it? So anyway, been an hour. I said I was going to be on it for too long, and I ended up being on an hour because you guys are such a great audience, great conversationists as well. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. You see what I'm saying? I really appreciate your conversation. I really appreciate your messages. Of course, we agree to disagree. You see what I'm saying? We are all welcome to do that. And for those of you that missed it, go back and watch the video. Go back and watch why I feel and think that that's envy and that's jealousy and that's perpetuating the same mindset and division within our community rather than taking accountability to everyone's part within it. But you know what? Hey, I know where he's going. I see where he's going. There's going to be an explosion and opening a space for men to be able to come in and have the conversation again because we're looking for leaders. And if you're not a leader, there's nothing wrong with that. I said it before in the last podcast. We need leaders and we need followers. So if you're not a leader, step out the way and step into the position as a follower because we need generals and we need soldiers to rebuild back this community. Decide which one you are and stand in your purpose. But each man, whether he be a follower or whether he be a leader, is a leader within his household, within his person, and within his square. Be on your square, man. Don't be a crybaby. Stop shucking and jiving. And let's be about this work. So, to that, I say to my people, grace, peace, blessings. Peace. I'm out.